Hello and welcome to another episode of the Space Update. Coming up on today's show, NASA Capstone go for launch, SLS is rolling out to the pad, Starship updates, plus space-based solar power coming to your device. Let's find out. So launch updates this week. On Saturday the 4th of June, we've got Blue Origin's New Shepard launching NS21. On Tuesday the 7th of June, we've got SpaceX launching Nilesat 301. Flight 7 for Falcon 9 boosted 1062. And as always, you can watch live launches right here on Total Space, but make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So first up, Rocket Lab will launch a CubeSat to the moon in June. This historic pathfinding mission supports NASA's Artemis program, which will land the first woman and the first person of colour on the moon. The mission was scheduled to launch on the 6th, but is now being pushed back to the 13th of June. Using an Electron and a new lunar proton upper stage, Rocket Lab will inject the cislunar autonomous positioning system technologies, operations and navigation experiment CubeSat, or let's just call it Capstone for short, to a highly efficient transfer orbit to the moon. Capstone is owned and operated by Advanced Space in Colorado for NASA. Capstone's primary objective is to test and verify the calculated orbital stability of a near-rectilinear halo orbit around the moon, the same orbit planned for the Gateway. NASA's Gateway is a small space station that will orbit around the moon to provide astronauts with access to the lunar surface. It will feature living quarters for astronauts, a lab for science and research, and ports for visiting spacecraft. Capstone will also test a navigation system developed by Advanced Space. This will measure its absolute position in cislunar space using interaction with NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Capstone is one of the first steps to learn how to operate more robust missions in this unique orbit, thus laying the groundwork for future exploration in our solar system. Take it away, Jack.
Hello everyone, my name is Jack and welcome to the first episode of CivilianSpace Updates. On today's episode we go over Starship's environmental report has been delayed by 2 weeks, the orbital launch mount has received some shielding, Ship 24 has burst a pipe, and finally more Raptor engines have been integrated with Booster 7. Right, let's get on to our first section. The Federal Aviation Administration has delayed the Starship environmental assessment, originally due for the 13th, to complete the final stages of Section 4F, which is a subsection of the much larger review, which has lasted over 2 years at this point. This doesn't create a huge obstacle at Starbase, as they weren't ready in both prototypes and ground systems speaking. As a little fun, I'd like to address some of the comments which are sent in the public comments part of the review. Let the broomstick fly. Yeah, let it fly, I suppose. Anything Elon makes should be able to fly. That's not true. Everything has to be tested. A number of these comments were spam or trolling, wasting FAA time and resources and therefore delaying the process, which caused a lot of anger and questions amongst the community. Talking about delays, SpaceX has seemed to use the extra time to get some shielding done on orbital launch mount. This mount fuels and securely holds the super heavy booster prior to liftoff. The mount design was scrutinised due to the lack of a flame diverter, which redirects the energy from the 33 booster engines away from the ground to avoid some damage to the mount. This is a great step towards the first orbital flight and shows SpaceX are not wanting a one-and-done kind of infrastructure. Talking about one-and-done, we do not want this for SpaceX prototypes. SpaceX recently completed prototype Ship 24, which attempted a cryogenic proof test, where super-chilled cryogenic nitrogen is loaded into ship's tanks to test structural integrity. During this test, a short pop was observed, as well as tiles falling to the ground from the nose cone of the prototype. Engineers later removed a bent pipe, which seemed to suffer from thermal imbalance, which caused it to fail. A new pipe was recently installed with thermal expansions to allow for this differential. Well, Ship 24 is having a little break. There we have it there. Booster 7 is currently in the Mega Bay, having its engines integrated with the vehicle. And also, we have information from Elon Musk, which means they may have a full stack on the pad in a few weeks. And that is it for today's episode of Civilian SpaceX Updates. Stay tuned for new episodes, possibly a new series. I'm your host, Jack, and Ad Astra. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Jack. On to another mighty moon rocket, SLS. NASA aims to roll out the Artemis 1 SLS stack back out to the launch pad on Monday the 6th of June for another round of testing. SLS will make its debut in the upcoming Artemis 1 mission, which will send an uncrewed Orion capsule on a journey around the moon. But before Artemis 1 can lift off, SLS and Orion need to complete a crucial series of pre-launch tests known as wet dress rehearsal. NASA's first run on Artemis 1 wet dress rehearsal began on April 1st, about 2 weeks after the moon rocket initially rolled out of the vertical assembly bay. NASA officials said they would expect to begin roughly a 48-hour wet dress rehearsal on June 19th. If the wet dress rehearsal goes well this time around, Artemis 1 team can start prepping for an actual liftoff. NASA officials have said they were aiming to launch Artemis 1 this August, though they won't set an actual official target date until the wet dress rehearsal is complete. All data has been analysed, but I can't wait for this one to launch. In other news, Astroscale gets funding for a 2024 debris removal mission. OneWeb, Astroscale and the UK and European space agencies partnered to launch a space junk servicer ELSA-M with a $14.8 million investment. The ELSA-M servicer will launch towards the end of 2024. The partnership is an important step to create a more sustainable space environment. The mission is to demonstrate Astroscale's ELSA-M capability and debris removal services to satellite operators thereafter. Also this week, NASA is starting a study to re-examine the viability of space-based solar power, a long-touted solution to providing power from space that might be getting a new interest thanks to technological advances and pushes from clean energy. Not too much on this right now, but this technology was actually tested on the secretive X-37B space plane. It successfully captured energy from a solar array, beamed it back down to an Earth receiving station via some form of microwave. I'll leave a link to an article down below for you guys to check out. Now I want you people to go like this video, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to go check out Chat with Rocket Lab and the upcoming Capstone mission, plus our chat with Kid Petite and his journey from pilot to astronaut with SpaceX. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week.